Most of you don't have a six pack, not because you lack the knowledge, it's because you lack the application of the knowledge to get the six pack. I've spoke at length many times on this channel that you need to live like the man who already has the six pack, therefore you will foster the six pack on your body. I've never give you an autistic hour by hour guide, but I'm going to today. So you've got something very, very tangible that you can take away from this. But I'm also going to give you some other points that are going to go around it, because I can give you the timetable. This should honestly be relatively simple. It's your actual application of it, and that's where the value is going to come in this video. So you're going to act in a day of the man you need to become, the athlete version of you. Now, straight away, the best version of you is living life with intent. He's written this out the night before or even on a Sunday ready for the week ahead. This may differ, by the way, relative to a gym day, a non-gym day, and a weekend and a non-weekend, or work day, non-work day. Depends on your field that you're in. So, of course, this will slightly differ. You may need 3 variations of this, or you could just do a weekly planner, which then will capture all of it. But I've just gone for 24 hours here. So, your application to this and the fact you've actually taken the time to draft this out means you're already going to be head and shoulders above the competition and more likely to actually stick to something you have written down. Because when it's there in black and white, you're now accountable to something. But if it's not, if it's kind of up for willy-nilliness, you'll just go off how you feel in the moment, and how you feel has got you to look the way you currently have. So we know that cannot be trusted, and that is not going to be the method that's going to get you to there. So first and foremost, let's map out what you should do with a full 24-hour period. And I actually want you to start from left and right, or top and bottom, from the moment you're going to wake up and the moment you're going to go to bed. Put those hours in first. So for argument's sake, notice how I've give you 8.5 hours in bed. You could go to bed later and get up later if that's the way your routine and clock works. You know, different cultures around the world actually do that. That's fine. People in hotter countries actually tend to do that because of the sheer climate. Or you might be someone that likes to go to bed even earlier and get up even earlier. Again, there's no right or wrong with this. It's your 24 hours. So you're going to make sure, though, you've got 8.5 hours in bed so that you can at least sleep for 8, because you might need to get up in the middle of the night for a piss. You might not drop off that quickly one night of the week, but at least you give yourself the spec for 8 hours solid sleep. Everything is actually built on the 8 hours sleep. You'll be more cognitively effective the next day if you've had more sleep. Your literal rock on will be harder if you've had more sleep. That's your man zest to go and attack the day. So by only giving yourself 7 hours versus 8.5, you're literally diminishing the amount of testosterone your body's going to produce anyway, which is going to in turn reduce how much masculine zest you've got to go and get after the day ahead. So put that in first, because everything is built on there. You recover when you sleep. You keep cortisol lower because of good sleep. This allows you to drop body fat a lot smoother. So I can't stress this enough. Put this in first, build then around it. What I would tell you is, as soon as you wake up, make sure you only get up to 1 alarm. It is a cardinal sin for a man like me and you that is after getting up and getting after the world to hear that alarm, snooze, and go again. That's basically you pressing the button and going, nope, don't really feel like it today. I'll kind of just ease myself into it. No. The phone lives meters away from your bed, so you have to get out of your bed to go and turn it off. You have 1 alarm, you set it, and you go turn it off. Because if you sleep in this amount, 1 alarm will be more than enough. You'll get to the point where you won't even use an alarm, because your circadian rhythm, your body clock is that well in tuned, it will wake up around that time every day anyway. That's what will happen when you lock this in. And you probably experience this only in a very small snippet, where if you're off from work and you can get whatever you want and you do that for a week, you'll find you wake up at the same time. Soon as you wake up, go to the bathroom, use it, and then weigh yourself and track that scale weight. That then puts you straight in an accountability mindset of, oh, this is my current weight. Right, now we need to make sure tomorrow it's slightly lower by following the steps I'm going to do later on in the day. I would then advise you, as soon as humanly possible, get outside and get some sunlight into your eyes. I would also tell you to hydrate as quick as possible as well. And if you can go one step further with an electrolyte sachet, that will also do you very good. At least 500 mils straight in, a litre if you can handle it. Depends on the size of you. Personally, 500 mils is enough for me straight away at that time. And I would actually tell you to just get out and get some steps. Now, one thing I want to make very clear, apart from turning the alarm off, do not go on your phone literally until about 10:30. Stay off it, stay off messages, 100% stay off the social apps stay off them as much as possible. Get out, do the steps with a clear head and a fresh mind, and you will already be able to think of what you need to get done for the day. If you start filling your mind full of garbage, I guarantee you, it affects how you act within the rest of the day. Stay off the phone. It's not something that's directly related to a six-pack, but it kind of can be. And this is also like, the six-pack at the end of the day, it's just the vehicle we're going to use. Inside the Gorilla 2, we're here to turn you into the best version of you that can go and achieve much bigger things. We use the six-pack to do so. So something you can really do for your future self is staying off the phone till at least 10:30. So crack out about 4K steps. You'll be able to nail that off in 40 minutes, maybe even a little bit quicker if you move with some, good pace. And when you are doing steps, move with purpose is the terminology I'll use for this. Then come back in, have your meal one as per your plan, which you've set out, and any morning sups that you'll take. The reason why you want to have them with meal one is things like zinc. You take it on an empty stomach, nasty stomach ache starts happening. So yeah, get the majority of morning sups in with the meal, and then they're in and they're done. Are supplements important? I'd say so. Like vitamin D, I guarantee you're not getting enough, so take that. Omega-3, very good for joint health, so take that. Creatine monohydrate for strength and performance, take that. You could take that with your pre-gym meal. It's better as close to the workout as possible, but I'd rather you just took it in the morning, then it's done, than sometimes forget to take it in and around that meal. And then bedtime supplements is literally just going to be magnesium before bed. All the rest of them take in the morning, magnesium just before bed. Apart from the Vit D, you could break up the amount of IUs you have in across the day. To be honest, I just take them all in one sitting, then I know I've had them. Now, from there, you're going to go to your field of work, whatever that looks and feels like, whether it's to a desk or you're going into work. For a lot of my guys in the military, they would start work around like 7:38. So that's why I've kind of gone off a typical timetable of when I used to be in the military. Obviously, when I put gym in and steps and cardio, it's not set in stone. You'll make that fit what works for you. You might love to lift weights in the morning. I personally like to lift them in the middle of the day. I find that's the best time for me. You might like to lift them at the end of the day. That's also fine as well. Whichever works best for you, structure that around. You might also want to just smash out gym and cardio. I do that for the most part. Just make sure you always do the gym before the cardio, unless you're going to do cardio here and then gym here. That can also work as well, as long as there's a long enough gap in between. So you're into your work, and little like tips for your work. Again, keep your phone away from you. Minimize any distractions. Clean up your area so that you're just dialed in and focused. This is not just about achieving a six-pack. You want to be pushing every facet of your life forward. Pre-gym meal, the reason I've gone for this time around 90 minutes beforehand will allow you to have any pre-gym meal that you want, because it will have digested in time. If that's not feasible, you're going to need things like fruit, which can digest very quickly before you train. And I've said here, stay off the phone till this point. Then you're into the gym, with the main thing I want you to walk away from that having tracked your lifts. Obviously, the gym, we could make a whole video on like how to train, like focusing on tempo, eccentric loading, focusing on range of motion, focusing on like the actual arm path, the exercise, the split you should be following. But like that's for another video. For your actual routine, just make sure you've allocated a solid amount of time in there and you track all the lifts so you know what you need to do next time. And if you've got a coach, like members in the Gorilla Platoon will do for me, they'll film their clips so they can be reviewed, perfected, and get better. Don't just tip up to the gym and just do the same thing all the time. You need to be progressing in two fronts. Your execution, which we'll say is your ability to lift it slowly, to lift it deep, and to lift it with good, like the actual hit the working muscle, call it the arm path. And then also your ability to get stronger, progressively overload, and we'll call that intensity. So you need to be doing technique and intensity every time. You're always being more accurate with the way you lift, and you're lifting more every time. That's how you're going to grow. Then from there, post-gym meal, it's going to be something that's quite high, fast GI carbohydrate. It's going to bring down cortisol and stay you away before you go back into work block from anywhere from 2 up until 6 p.m. Then I've said in there, put your cardio in. Your cardio wants to be something that you can do daily. So we're talking like bike, or we're talking incline treadmill, walk, and your heart rate is 120 to 130 BPM. Now you'll progress this as you go through, because you'll get to the point where you're quite fit, and an incline treadmill walk won't cut the mustard. You'll then need to use a cross trainer. You then might even need to use a Stairmaster. On your non-gym days, you could take the majority of your cardio and you could put it on the non-gym days. That can absolutely work as well. if then you want to save some time here, that can also work. And if you want to do some more impact cardio just for fun, like I would tell you, do that, but wait a little bit till you've lost some weight before you go out running. Because if you start in 30% body fat, 25% body fat, even 20-ish% body fat, your body wasn't made to be that fat. So if you're now running, the joints have got to bear that extra load, which it doesn't really want, without you having got strong first. Like in the military, obviously, our guys will carry excess weight through kit, but we've got them strong first so the joints can withstand it. If you're not strong, I wouldn't say go out running first. I'd say use non-impact things like we suggest here. Now, from there, I also want you to factor in your family time. And this can go from literally, this could be 2 hours worth there, because this could be you sit down, you eat your meals together, and also you could go out and do the remainder of your steps together. I'd say that'd be two very good things. You're eating nutrients together with your family, and you're out moving your body with your family. That's a pretty nice thing to do. A lot of you will resent the plan and say you don't have time, and you'll use your family as an excuse. You'll say, I have to do this, that, and the other for the kids. Put the time in, like physically put it into your day, and then don't mix your day around where, like, if it's family time at this time, it's cardio time at this time, it's work time at this time. Don't mix and match the two. The only reason you will not achieve your goals this year is for the fact that you task switch. Whatever you set your mind to, you will generally achieve. It's if you start and stop and then come back to it and start and stop and try something else, and you're just spreading out your energy and the effort it takes, like a car does, to go up through the gears to get back to speed and come back down through the gears. All of that time going up and down through the gears to get to the point of actually pushing the needle forward, that's just how you're going to burn through your energy and not achieve anything, and ultimately waste time as well. So when you've given something a time, live inside the time box. I know this seems a little bit autistic. I know sometimes you're going to be outside of it 10 or 20 minutes depending on the activity. That's fine. But the point of the matter is you've got the overall structure, and obviously if you live by yourself or you're a young guy who really can dial in every element of it, then there's no excuse for you living outside of this. The reason steps go in there towards the end of the day, it just winds you down. It just brings everything down to a very chilled point. Anything that's like grating on your brain, it will also just flush out off the back of that as well, which is nice. Then give yourself half an hour to actually like chill. At this point, if you want to scroll on your phone for 30 minutes, I wouldn't advise it, but fucking we all do it, we're human beings, so do it. But at 9:30, if that's your time, like get off the phone, get in bed. I know it's tempting to stay up texting people, watching shit. I understand that. I like the internet or the way they've designed all these things, they're very clever to keep us hooked, but like have the self-respect to be like, no, my sleep is more of a priority so I can be effective the next day and I can move towards my goal, because that is how the man I need to become would act. So at every angle, and this is what we'll come on to now, this should seem easy. Like it's basically, it's so simple. And this is honestly like very similar to what a day in the life looked like as we were going through training to become British paratroopers. So my background is I'd spent 10 years in the British Army, and 7 of those I was a British paratrooper. So this is very similar to what a typical day in the life looked like for us. Everything mapped out with a set time period. So you want to do the same, and it should be simple. It shouldn't. If it's not simple, you won't stick to it. The same with a meal plan. You don't need a fancy diet meal plan. You need a very simple meal plan which tells you what to eat at what time. It will tell you you've got 5 meals to eat, and these are the gram amounts of each food. Done, dusted. It's the same every day, bar like non-training days. You drop off the pre-workout meal. Done. Nice and simple. So all of this wants to be simple. It wants to be very easy to follow, because it's not the knowledge that you lack, it's now the application to stick to this. So the very first thing we need to understand is we need to get good at our ability to say no to things. Because if you're trying to live to this, I guarantee you, not everyone else is living like this. So they're going to try and pull you onto their way of living. It's, do you want to come for a meal at this time? No, because I eat my meals at this time and I eat this said meals. It's, do you want to come to this event? And then you've got to weigh up. Do I want to use that in my chill time, or is that going to actually sway me out and it's going to knock me out of my schedule? And your ability to say no to everything else and yes to this on more days than not is how you're going to get to the result quicker. That's literally what it comes down to. If you can say no to things, you will dial this in and you will be able to get there so much faster. But it's hard because now let's play this out. You're going to say no to someone. Now you need to be ready with the repercussions of their emotion, which they're going to say, no, I'm not going to come to this. Then they're going to go, oh, why not? And then you're going to have to justify and explain yourself. And then that'll be a little bit uncomfortable. But it's going to be uncomfortable either way. You either make the other person feel uncomfortable by saying no, or you put yourself out and don't reach the goal anyway. So choose your hard. Like, which one do you want? And ultimately, I know which one you want, because human beings are selfish people. So you ultimately would rather the thing that's going to do right by you, to be honest, unless it's so painful for you to say no to the other person. In which case, I'd just say grow some self-respect. Like, you wanted to change your physique. This is going to take, even if you're 30% body fat, this is going to take 6 months out of your whole lifespan. Just have some self-respect. Have some time for you to actually get this. Remember, you don't have to live like this forever. But you asked me, how should you live if you want to get a six-pack? This is how you live if you want to get a six-pack. If you want to keep a six-pack, the schedule will be different. That's a topic for another day. But if you want to get it, this is how you need to live. You don't need to live like this forever, but you do absolutely need to live to it by the letter for the season of your life of getting the six-pack. Here's another thing. We've already spoke about mixing different things at different times and the problem that leads. Here's a better question to ask yourself. What would your enemy, imagine I'm your enemy, what could I send to you that would seem like a gift, but actually it's going to mess you up? It's going to take you out of your routine. It's going to take you out of your schedule. Like if you're really on it. And again, this isn't for the weekend. The weekend, I would tell you to leave it different. If you don't work on the weekend, I'd say set your get up time, maybe half an hour later. This still stays the same. This still stays the same. This may be a gym would just come earlier, same with cardio and all that be done. From about 12 onwards all the way here, you'd have free time. You could do whatever you want. As long as it's not something that's going to take you off planning your goals, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Same for this day here, if you had anything fitness related. So you're talking the mornings, again, we're talking up to about 10 a.m. The rest of the day's your own, really. So anything that's that fun, you could put it on the weekends, realistically. So there's an answer straight away. What could they send to you, and what realistically could you not just push towards the weekend? If I was living this routine and lifestyle, someone could send to me a woman that wants to go on a date that night, there and then, and it's all fun and exciting. And to be fair, that'd be pretty fucking cool, because it's that's how we as human beings love excitement and we love to go and do shit. So that's what they could send to me. The better version of me and say, no, I bet I can do Saturday or I can do Sunday, rather than coming out of the routine and schedule. If I was rock solid serious about getting the six-pack, that needs to be the thing. And that's ultimately what you need to get comfortable being okay with. It's saying no to the things that you actually want to do. And that's where true discipline's built. I'm not disciplined because I go to the gym. Because I love the gym. I need the gym. I love going in there, getting a pump, looking in the mirror, feeling great. I absolutely love it. I'd be more disciplined to not go to the gym, because I generally want to go and do that each and every day. So for you, the discipline and the true discipline muscle is built by you saying no to the things you actually wanted to do. That's how you actually build discipline. You're not disciplined because you did something hard. Because if you actually like the thing anyway, it doesn't really make you that disciplined. It just means you're hardworking. But if you actually wanted to do the thing and you said no for the greater good and the future you, that's how you built true discipline. And that's going to be needed. You're going to need to develop your muscle that is disciplined along this path. So what I would say along with this is write out what your enemy could send to you to trip you up. It could be your missus comes back with certain cakes that live in a certain cupboard that you know where they are, and that could mess you up. So how are you going to get around that? You know they're in that cupboard, and you just have the the grown-up approach to be I know they're in there. They've been sent to test me, but I know they're in there and I'm not going to go and touch them. Or you just tell them to move them to a completely different place. They get stored in a new room or whatever it needs to be to keep you away from this. The same for if you've got any comforts, they're ultimately what your enemy can send you. If you've used food as a comfort for challenge in your life over the past, that's what your enemy could ultimately send you. So now, thinking really advanced here, if I knew your comfort was food and I were to send you food because I want you to feel comfortable, your goal wouldn't be to avoid the food. Your goal would be to address the reason that you need food in the first place. That'd be the most grown-up approach that you do. Address why that is. Address what the depressing thought was that then made you turn to food. And then you want to attack that at the jugular first and foremost. And that's what we do ultimately inside the Gorilla Platoon. So if you want me to ultimately get you in the best shape of your life, as per the results you can see on our page, there'll be a link in the description. Come join us. Hopefully you found this useful and very specific. You can now take this and apply this into your own life. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.